Jason Robbins, CEO of DraftKings. DraftKings is a daily fantasy sports site and leader in the industry.
Arnold Harris Shreer, Vice President General Manager of Home Team Sports, a division of Fox Sports.
Christie Sullivan, President of Kountermove Fantasy MMA and Combat Sports. Kountermove is fantasy for MMA and combat sports.
Zachary Stanley, CEO of Star Fantasy Leagues. Star Fantasy Leagues is a daily, weekly, and season-long technology provider.
Mike Cardano, Fantasy Sports Network. Fantasy Sports Network is a media company. We operate television network all over North America. You can also catch us, in addition to over-the-top cable, you can catch us on Roku, Amazon Fire, Cloud TV, and distributed across any internet-enabled device.
My name is Christopher Costigan. I'm the founder of Gambling911.com and our sister site, DFS911.com, which focuses on the daily fantasy sports industry. And we have been around since '99 with Gambling911.com, focusing on the gambling industry, covering all aspects of it.
My name is Gemayel. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Fanjam. We're a mobile daily fantasy sports platform.
Sergey, Vardanyan, BetConstruct, Director for America's Office. BetConstruct is a betting and gaming software development company. We just entered to the US market with our fantasy sport and with our free play platform and the poker network.
It's Shannon McKeown with Rotowire.com, VP of Advertising Sales. Rotowire is a fantasy sports news content site. We have multiple websites, multiple tools to really educate users on how to play fantasy sports. We also produce magazines, a SiriusXM radio show, and work with different media partners, including NFL.com, FanDuel, DraftKings, ESPN, and many others.
Lloyd, DreamLiving.com, VP of Growth for the USA. We are the #1 daily fantasy cricket site in the world.
Hi, I'm Amit Shandilya. I'm the partner at Vinfotech Sports. We are a web and mobile development company based in India, specializing in fantasy sport, and that too daily fantasy mainly.
It's Erskine. I'm the Director of Enterprise Architect for Coachface LLC. Coachface is a new daily fantasy sports site that's based on the coaches instead of the players. So you get a chance to become a manager, essentially. You get a chance to pick your team of coaches and play against other players.
Jesse Merle, CEO, Major League Fantasy. Major League Fantasy is a daily fantasy company operated out of Silicon Valley with the niche differentiator that we have an integrated social network.
Corey Sabin, co-founder NewsStation.com. NewsStation produces 1-minute vignettes, high-quality video in numerous platforms, whether it be a minute in Sports Minute, Legal Minute, Parents Minute, Money Minute, etc. And we distribute those nationwide to about 400 media outlets across the country.
Will Thornton, Business Development Manager, SportRadar US. SportRadar is a real-time data company that provides play-by-play, score, statistics, anything you need to power your daily fantasy site.
My name is Warren Corpus. I've been in the affiliate and in internet marketing industry for about 15 years. Partner in a very popular email marketing company for a decade, and now I'm on the technology side. I'm with HitPath, a tracking solutions provider. HitPath is the tracking platform. We basically track any internet event that you could put a pixel on. We're used by a lot of affiliate networks, a lot of advertisers. We've got some multinational companies and e-commerce companies as well.
Hello, my name is Dmitry, Vice President of Sales North America. I represent an Object Style company. Object Style is a company doing custom software, focusing on business automation tasks. We're doing databases integration for sports industry. We're doing security, privacy, encryption, and performance optimization for sure, as a lot of users use sports applications, fantasy sports applications, so all these things. So we're doing everything, and our major client at the moment is National Hockey League in this sphere, so we like to work with them.
I'm Rich Williamson. I'm a web development consultant with Dreamco Design. Dreamco Design, we're web developers, so we actually build websites. So we're not here to provide data. We don't do that. We're not a white labeling system. We custom build websites and fantasy sites in particular.
I'm Tal Yitzchak Ron from Tal Ron Drihem & Co. law firm from Tel Aviv. We are gaming lawyers. We're based in Tel Aviv.
Tony Lester, Sane Capital. Sane Capital, we're an investment venture capital company. We partner with other companies to develop their businesses, particularly in the high tech.
Robin Lang, Vice President of HCC Specialty. We are a specialty insurance company, so we provide prize indemnity insurance, ways to tout a large prize but paying only a fraction of the price. So as it relates to fantasy sports, we'd love to come in and make the prizes even bigger and make it even more exciting for members to play more and to entice new membership.
Eric Cutson with Perform. I'm the Vice President of U.S. Sports Data. Perform is a third-party data provider for global sports with recent initiative in the U.S. market. So our core is international, and now we're migrating over into the U.S.
Came to the event because it's a Daily Fantasy Sports Expo, so there's obviously going to be a lot of people here in the same business. I actually made a lot of meaningful relationships here, so it's a good choice. I'm glad I came.
This is my bread and butter. I mean, I have about a dozen clients that were attending, plenty of new guys that are coming into the space that I wanted to meet, shake hands, have that face-to-face connection with. So it's just the perfect place to come for that. It's great for networking, great to really learn more about the industry.
We are here as exhibitors and sponsors. I think this is one of the greatest industry to be in right now. It's very upcoming. There is a lot of scope in it. And this was a great platform for us to showcase our skills and look for new ideas, trends, and potentially some new business out of it.
Just to meet with industry colleagues and meet some new folks as well. And then I was speaking on one panel, which is later today, a debate. And then I gave a presentation on the current state of DFS, MMA, and combat sports.
We are proudly sponsoring this event. We are happy to be the part of this organization. We are happy that this is the first one, and we hope it will be growing, and we are glad that we're part of it.
Well, it's obviously a Daily Fantasy Sports conference. It's a new event, but plenty of movers and shakers in the industry are here, and we want to be a mover and shaker as well, so it's the place to be.
Really, I wanted to network, but also I had a lot to learn. There's so much information out there. There's just a lot of valuable information here. A lot of major players are here. So this is an opportunity for me to come, learn, find out what's changing in the industry, what's new in the pipeline, things like that, and a network.
I found out about this event because I'm always kind of keeping up with daily fantasy news, and somebody sent me the link on LinkedIn and figured since it was in my backyard in my hometown of South Florida, I had to be here. I'm very happy to participate.
We saw the list of attendees. We saw that there's a lot of quality players in the daily fantasy space, as well as many current customers that we'd like to touch base with, and figured this was a good space to speak with them and network properly.
We're here mainly to learn about fantasy sports world, and we're new to the industry. We think our product has a lot of synergy, so networking opportunities and really learning about everything.
Yeah, it's been a great crowd. Definitely exciting to see more conferences springing up that are dedicated to the industry, and we just like to make sure that if we can be a part of that, we're here and a part of that.
Conference has been great. We've met a lot of interesting people, some of the people that we haven't seen at the other conferences, done some good networking. I was able to get on a couple panels and discuss the industry. It's been fun.
It's very well organized. The interplay between speakers and then having the chance to connect with other folks is very helpful. The breaks seem to come at welcome times. So far, so good.
It's fantastic. We came down here to cover the conference. It looks like you got about 120 people here from executives from different places. We're putting some of them on the air here, finding out some interesting things. We just interviewed a fellow from Belarus, which I didn't expect to have happen today.
I can tell you that it was so organized. Everything, the food was excellent. I think it's really good event.
Super, really good. I saw a lot of people here that I wanted to see in the industry, as well as met some new folks, and I had the opportunity to talk about fantasy MMA and combat as an emerging key sport to be following in terms of DFS.
It's good, a lot of great people to speak with, a lot of new faces that we haven't seen at other conferences, and feels like a good place to meet the people we need to talk to.
It's been great so far. I think the coolest thing for me is having come in our second year in this industry. I've seen a lot of these companies online, and I've even interacted with a bunch of people. I ran into our sports data provider who I've talked to on the phone for the last year. So it's been great to kind of meet people in person that I've interacted with in the industry online.
I met just about everybody here. This is the first event. It was small but very productive, and speaking to other people here, it was very productive, including myself. I got some business out of it myself.
Meeting all sorts of different people, people involved directly with fantasy sports, others in the marketing world, CEOs. It's really the whole gamut of people involved in the industry, so it's fantastic.
Daily fantasy operators, various different titles, but for the most part, decision makers and folks that I would typically do business with.
Networks, you have lawyers, you have, new people that are asking us for advice because we've been in the industry a while and they want to hear what we're doing to operate a site. Meet with colleagues on the other hand.
What I like about this conference is I'm meeting all sorts of people. I'm meeting the hands-on guys in the trenches who are looking to get more involved with fantasy and figure out ways to use content to make more money on their product. I'm meeting guys from Fox Sports who are being challenged to embrace fantasy more for their viewers. I'm meeting guys who are looking to do more interactive in the social component in regards to fantasy. Fantasy is a growing business and a growing niche. Women are involved in fantasy, young people, older people, and that's why news stations involved in it, because it's a money-making opportunity, but more importantly, people can access the information about their favorite players, injuries, stats in a 1-minute video right there on their phone.
It looks like I'm meeting a lot of people that are either own their own sports sites already, operators, or who are about to start their own.
We met here lots of people who we never met before in verticals that we weren't even aware of.
Got to meet a lot of different people. Met a couple of lawyers, met a VP from Fox Sports, a guy that's starting his own fantasy site, met everything, everywhere.
Meeting other CEOs, when you live this kind of life where you're a startup CEO, I mean, it's your everything, so you don't have a whole lot to talk to people about except for about business, and you can, like, watch your wife's eyes like glaze over, like. So this is kind of the only other group of people that share the same kind of having only a singular interest in their entire life. So it's kind of nice to be able to talk about it all day.
We met mostly people from the sector, who mostly professionals, and it's a good opportunity for networking, and it's a good opportunity for people to get to know each other and to learn from each other.
It's a mix of all. I've met my peers, a lot of operators here, which is great for me. I mean, I sell them advertising content, so that's a perfect fit for me with all the operators.
I'm meeting CEOs, I'm meeting developers, I'm meeting players, I'm meeting operators. It's the whole gamut. So anyone who has anything to do with fantasy sports, you're meeting them here.
CEOs of all different companies, both in gaming, in media, in fantasy sports. Got to meet the guys with the MMA Kountermove, which was cool. I haven't gotten to meet them before. And discuss that and just go over what we're doing with our business. That's been fun.
Really all of the above. It's been a great experience. We're meeting decision makers here, all areas that we are looking for, and so it's proven to be a good experience for us.
I'm meeting a C-level executive, people who can decide right here on the table, will they work with us or not. So it is very, very important. I'm sure that I'm not wasting my time, I'm not wasting another person's time. So we can negotiate just in 5 minutes, to introduce each other and understand whether we match our needs or not. So it's a nice place for that purpose.
I'm meeting people kind of all across the spectrum, a lot of fantasy site operators and CEOs, which is great, but I met a couple guys who are actually heavy traders themselves and kind of big gamers. I've met media, CMOs, and a few CFOs. Yeah, it's been very diverse.
All levels. I've met the actual entrepreneurs, I met C-levels, I met people who actually running multi-million, $100 million companies. I met programmers, technicians.
I got great ideas from being here.
It's interesting to know who is coming to this event. I find very fascinating. The types of people, and it's going to be something that the next event that we have is going to be covered pretty aggressively on that site.
Oh, tons. A lot of food for thought, making me look at things a little bit differently, so kind of shifting my views of a few things here and there. So definitely got a lot to talk about and debrief with the boss when we get back.
Not so much fresh ideas, but certainly confirming some ideas and suspicions I've already had, particularly around content marketing and particularly in the space of cricket where it's not really done, certainly not done well. And to take that back to Dream 11 and to other potential partners and affiliates and really kind of drive that content marketing side of things.
I think that we've been examining opportunities in esports for quite a while now, so to listen in on that panel, which kind of see how that industry has grown and get his perspective on it has definitely been an asset for us coming out of this.
I think this is definitely helping me think in a new way, and certainly I've learned a lot from the panels that I'm planning on applying kind of in the day-to-day of our business when I get back, so absolutely.
Learning from and talking to everybody here, we've been able to really adapt, and ideas are constantly flowing, and we're excited about new opportunities.
I talked to a guy who's doing stuff with the Native American Indians. We're going to use that, and then we're going to get a software that was actually demoed here, and we're talking to a person that already operates fantasy. So between the four of us, we're going to put together a business deal.
This is definitely a new niche for us. I'm also a huge sports fan, so I've learned a lot about the daily fantasy sports business I didn't even know. I didn't know a lot of the smaller sports, a lot of the smaller niches, so there's personal things that I want to get involved in, as well as my business getting more into this niche as well.
I learned a few different techniques and tricks with the content delivery systems that help to promote your site, help get you out there and so on and so forth, which definitely going to look at implementing, as well as looking at that new market that we could go to within Europe, Asia, and so on and so forth.
I took a lot, starting from localization, like language thing, and also I got an idea about to apply virtual reality to fantasy sports. I think it's kind of when you cannot be just a coach, just a manager of the team, but you also can be a real-time player of your game you just created.
Yeah, absolutely. I think even just by hearing presentations and even giving my presentation, it makes me come up with ideas for what we can do to tweak our product, get input from just even questions that people have about it. Makes you realize, you can step back from your own product and realize how people are perceiving it when they see it almost brand new. So helping refine the messaging in terms of how to describe it even to colleagues, as well as discussing how to further describe the product, as well as, get ideas from what other people are talking about how to market your business as well. So it's good, it's very good.
Definitely there were discussions that were very helpful, and we're going to be taking those ideas to improve and to make better our product and to serve our clients.
The biggest things I've had taken away is the people I've met with have been great into looking into doing partnerships and coming up with new ideas for daily fantasy and finding a new way not to just do the old mold and copy, but also think of new innovative ways to infiltrate the daily fantasy space.
We want to be the best company in the world when it comes to fantasy sports development, and we're always on the lookout for new ideas, new innovations, and new trends. So that's a very good learning for us. We tried to take part in as many panels as we could, and I think we got the information that we needed.
It's been very interesting. I mean, just learning more about the growth of the daily fantasy sports space, different ways you can attack it from the content end, a lot of good ideas, how best to partner up with affiliates, things of that nature that I'm definitely going to take back and discuss with the team.
There's some of the existing clients who are now IPOing in several places over the world. We took some kind of really good ideas from them, and I think that the panel that we participated on raising capital, also the moderator, 80-year-old guy, expert, I studied from him and learned from him a lot, and I think that this event is something that will continue and grow bigger and bigger from year to year.
The speed networking thing was awesome. You meet people just bam, 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 and it's, it was amazing because like literally every single person I sat across, I would start off kind of like, okay, they're going to try to sell me something, and then it was like, oh, nope, maybe I need to try to sell them something.
Well, the experience of that was great. For one thing, I'm talking to people that I might not have thought to approach, people that I wouldn't have thought that there was any real connection there, finding out that there's a lot to be learned, there was a lot to offer. It was just an incredible thing. I had an opportunity to speak with people who'd developed their own companies, people who'd started entirely new streams of business. It was just really, and it was a lot of fun. So made some connections that I think are going to be long lasting. So made some lifelong friends.
It gives you an opportunity, a forced opportunity, to sit in front of or across the table from people that you may not ever have the chance to connect with in a 45-minute coffee session, breakfast session, or lunch session.
The most important thing here for networking, it's nice, if there are different characters, some people like shy to approach, but here's the situation when you sit next, like opposite of the person, and you should talk, you must talk, you cannot avoid this. It is nice, and it's great experience. I love this.
Speed network was good as well. Got to meet a couple of people, and then we continued our conversations later in the day and today as well. So I think it's a very good concept. I think that you should have something like this, and most of the conferences don't have it, but it should be a part of it.
Very good. I met 6 people. 2 or 3 are potential clients. 2 of them, I will be their potential clients.
the legal session because there's a lot of issues covered, stuff that I didn't know about, and we had two of the best panelists up there.
The most recent session that I sat through where they spoke about the kind of the FanDuel versus DraftKings and the league partnerships, I thought was pretty interesting in terms of kind of where this may go and what the value is of each of the different league partnerships and why.
So far, I really like the affiliate panel. That was great for me. Just hearing the perspective from the different operators, and coming from my side, I'm the publisher. I want to hear those ideas, figure out ways that can really become better partners with our own affiliate partners. So that one's been pretty eye-opening for me. There's a couple additional panels tonight or later this evening that I'm looking forward to as well.
I like the one for the investors. It's a good opportunity for someone that is a startup to learn and to go to right direction in terms of applying for the funding for their businesses.
Honestly, I really like the panels where you have, presidents or CEOs or people who are running a company at a high level and they're able to share their overarching umbrella strategy, and then when they're up there together, dialogue about what they're doing and what their strategy is amongst one another, and then day to day.
I wouldn't say any session in particular has made me go well, but there's been moments within sessions. People have mentioned specific things, again, particularly around the content marketing side of things, where I've gone, yeah, wow, that's a huge area of growth for us and potential. So yeah, it's been really good.
The session that really piqued my curiosity was from Vulcan, where he talked about how that industry is on the boom in regards to people watching players play video games. And I remember seeing a story on it on Real Sports, how the Staples Center sold out the fastest for a gamer event than any other sporting event ever. And seeing what a growing industry it is, it really got me thinking about content geared towards those people, because what he was saying right away, the speaker, is their audience is about 21 years old or younger, and they do not watch TV. Everything is accessed on their phone, their tablet, and YouTube, and that's exactly who we cater to. Really piqued my curiosity, and I planned on going back and reading more and learning more about it, and then reaching out to, I believe, Ali.
The one that I've probably enjoyed the most, I'm trying to think of the name of it. Oh, the Forbes panel was what it was called, but there was a guy there from Fox Sports who just did a deal with DraftKings, and his insight was incredible. Yeah, that was really awesome.
Just listening to my other panelists, Adam and Kevin, kind of going back and forth, talking about what they're doing every day and how to improve their businesses, and also giving examples for the audience. I learned a lot.
The product overview or the industry overview, it was eye-opening to learn about how the industry is and the big players and their success and what they're doing in terms of marketing and getting their products out there. So it definitely was an eye-opener.
There have been a couple of sessions that actually really just kind of perked my ears up. One in particular was dealing with salary caps. That was interesting. Discussing offshore markets was really interesting, and I don't know why I hadn't thought about that before. Learning about cricket. I mean, this is a sport that is designed for fantasy sport. I mean, and I never thought about it. Being an American, I know nothing about cricket, but the more I learn, the more I realize this is built for this. This is a heck of a thing, so learn more about that. So
I like the debate style, when people discussing and agree and disagree with things. This is the atmosphere where smart people create something new. So they negotiate, they agree and disagree, and in this conversation we can create something, new ideas. So I love the last session here.
The last panel was really interesting. We got to get some insights from some of the industry leaders. The session that you had about the legal issues was also an eye-opener, because we were under the impression that we know about it completely, but there were still a few things that are going to be very helpful, not to us, but to our clients, which at the end of the day is what we're trying to provide to.
All of them were very good. The one that was actually the most interesting was the fight, the MMA, fantasy MMA. That was something totally new and very interesting.
I would definitely recommend this event.
Oh, I'd recommend this to anybody, regardless of what your position is, what you do with fantasy sports, whether you're an operator, whether you're a player, if you're a developer. There's something for you here. There's more than something for you here. There's a lot of somethings for you here. This is invaluable. This is kind of a must-do.
Absolutely, yeah. I think this is going to be an every-year event for me, no question.
It's a great event. You should come out and enjoy.
It's been a great time here at the FSC, and definitely find time to come back next time.
If you're in the industry, this is a great place to come and connect people. I see a lot of people getting business done here. We're here to cover it. We're watching a lot of stuff happen.
It's still a growth industry. It's still new, and if you want to be a mover and shaker in this space, it's best to get in at the ground floor, so should definitely come along. And heck, it's Miami. Why would you not want to be here?
Anyone in the fantasy sports industry needs to come. It's just a perfect place to meet your peers, future partners. Great event.
Absolutely. And people outside the industry, because I think the interesting thing about it is the industry is very young, so people outside the industry need to look into it as a serious business.
Definitely. I want to be here every year now.
If you're a fantasy operator or have some connection to this space, then I think it's a worthwhile event to go to.
Yeah, definitely. We've been to other trade shows, even bigger trade shows, but this is definitely something that's intimate, and you really get a lot of one-on-one experience with other people, and the networking part of it is really beneficial to the company and to your products.
I think that this is something that could grow. I think that it's important for the daily fantasy industry to have something that is their own, because there's so much growth going on in it. It's so explosive, and there's so many different pieces to it, from the games to the content, and I think to have all those people in one place is great.
I will definitely recommend to anyone I will meet, because it's great, amazing organization, amazing venue for sure. But I would definitely recommend it.
It's the first convention I've come to that was specifically for daily fantasy, because there's a lot. I mean, you would think that like everything in fantasy sports applies to everything in fantasy sports, and it doesn't. Daily fantasy is its own animal, and so it's good to have its own kind of niche convention. It's very productive.
Anybody who's not here that's in this business is a mistake.
I definitely would recommend it. I would definitely recommend it. I'm not just saying because you're my friend for years. I would definitely recommend it, just based on the feedback I've gotten. Again, it was very small, but it was the first one, and people I spoke to said it was pretty good for a first event.